Okay. Yeah. So, how many Prairie Home summer tours have you been on?
This is my third Prairie Home tour, I
Third.
believe. I haven't done all of them. I did the first Summer Love tour with them a few years ago, and then I jumped on board for a couple weeks, a couple summers ago, and I'm finishing up this tour with the last 10 dates.
How is this? Does it feel different than the other ones?
This does feel different. This tour, I think, out of all of them, feels a little bit more like closer to the broadcast than to me, than an extended version of the broadcast, I think, than some of the other Summer Love
Does
tours.
it feel looser or tighter than other?
It's very open-ended, but I think the thing that makes it feel more like a broadcast is starting with Tishomingo, and there are certain points throughout the show that feature pinnacle broadcast moments. So I think it represents the radio show a little bit more.
Kind of echoes the broadcast in some way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you have any like things that jump out of this, memorable moments that jump out at you?
One of my favorite things about this tour is going out into the audience and singing with the audience, and looking at these people who have come out and who are singing America's songs and all together, and realizing that most of these people don't do that very much anymore. They don't sing these songs much in church. They probably aren't going to concerts where that's called for, where you're sharing this communal songbook together at night. And it's a really special thing, and I think it's unique to experience it. And Garrison loves to do that at night, and I love that part of the show. I love being out there and like looking into their eyes and realizing that, if it's an older attendee who's, in her 80s or 90s and singing these songs, these patriotic songs, that I can only imagine how much of their life, how many memories are coming through their head as they're singing these verses that are so well worn in their lives.
Well, you do a lot of touring, and do you prepare differently for this, or do you think about this in a different way? Or can you get into a more relaxed mode because you're in with this band behind you and so forth, or is it more tense, or how do you feel about that?
A lot of times I'm touring for my own show, which has its own pressures and its own stresses. But this show, when you're supporting somebody else's event, there's a whole different kind of attention to detail, where you want to do a good job just to not screw somebody else's night up, So there's definitely, especially the first handful of shows out with Prairie Home, there's a lot of just trying not to blow at entrance on stage or forget the words.
And everybody's at the top of their form, so one
Yeah,
wants
I
to be
mean,
at the top of
Yeah,
one's
exactly.
form. Yeah, I hear you.
You see what Rich Dworsky pulls off every night, and you realize that, oh no, this is totally should be expected of us to be able to do this.
Forgive me inserting myself in here, but it feels like a little bit like summer camp to me, with a lot of people looking at you occasionally. Do you get that summer camp feel because you go between bus and hotel room and here, and I don't know how that summer camp, but it feels like it to me.
First of all, you're forgiven. Second of all,
you.
yes.
Yeah.
Touring is. I never went to summer camp, but I imagine that's what it is. A lot of times it feels. There's the camaraderie that develops over the courses of the weeks, and hanging out with everybody, working for this event, and then getting to hang out at night and play tunes on the bus, or just talk and tell stories, and you're living together for weeks at a time, which most adults don't do, and it's pretty fun.
And
with this group, because everybody's so fun to be with. It's great.
And then stacked on top of each other, which you're used to. I mean, you grew up doing this as a kid, touring like this, right?
What's stacked up on top?
We're sleeping, three atop.
Oh, literally
in a
stacked
bus.
on top
Yeah, we're
of each other,
stacking,
yes.
like
Yeah, the bunk
baskets.
there, in the bunks on the bus, there are they're stacked 3 high mostly. So you walk through, and there's 6 You walk through again, and there's another 6, sleeping 12 at most. And yeah, it's you're living it, man. It's fun.
And sometimes it's snack time. It feels like, like camp and snack time. Tell me about the Watkins Family Hour. It's a podcast you have?
Well, it's a live show that we do. My brother and I have done this live show once a month for 10 years now in Los Angeles, which is near where we live, at a place called Largo. And it's a variety show. We have we play a bunch of our songs. There's a band, and we have a bunch of guests come by and learn their songs, and it's been really fun. And we've recently developed into a podcast where we just take 20 or 30 minutes, 40 minutes of that show, and feature the guests and put it. It's on iTunes and anywhere else you get podcasts these days. But
so
yeah, that's really fun.
As a Watkins Family Hour?
Yeah, it's called Watkins Family Hour.
Right.
And we have a bunch of fun guests on it.
After this, what happens next with you?
I go home for a few days, and then I go fly to Edmonton, Canada, for the Edmonton Folk Festival this weekend. And then I come home for the weekend. I'm just doing weekend things for the next month or so.
And this solo, or are you with your band?
It'll be with my band, and then I'll be writing and recording this fall and winter, with some fun projects.
There's a lot of new things we've heard in this tour that you've done, new songs that you brought. Yeah.
We've been enjoying a Tom Waits song, a new Tom Waits song to us anyway. Take It With Me When I Go is what it's called. And then some new duets.
Heartbreak. That song is a heartbreak when you sing it. It's wonderful.
I love that song. I love singing it.
And a new one tonight.
And tonight, we'll be doing one of mine. It's so fun just to add songs to the last minute on the tour. A lot of times you get into a rhythm. There's a few shows left, 2 shows left in this case, and we're still adding songs and learning songs. And that's really fun.
Yeah.
Keeps the show fresh, and it's fun to work up new songs with this band.